Hello, this is Mike Goldenberg with some Karnshift. When the die roll, absolutely play first with a hand I wish had more lands, but otherwise is acceptable. So I'm going to lead off with Wooded Foothills Pass, and opponent mulliganed. They keep their 6 and put a card on bottom. Okay. Okay, Swamp Inquisition. They can grab the Steve and leave my hand pretty poor off to, this is a pretty bad hand without Steve. So hopefully I draw some lands, or another Steve or a Farseek or something here. You see my mismatched lightning bolts. Okay. Double swap. We up against like 8 rack or something here. Because Karn would be really good against 8 rack. Being able to grab engineered explosives as well as Chalice of the Void if they don't yet have any racks down. No, maybe this is just a vampire deck. Okay. It's fine. If they take Bolt, I'm not really that concerned about it. This is such a slow clock. Okay. I feel like Prime Time's probably the better take there. Just because I can play him sooner. Scapeshift I'm not playing till turn 7. Prime I can play turn 6. Okay. 27 lands and I'm just not drawing them. We're 10 cards deep into the deck. Alright, that's a better Bolt target. Sure. Okay. Basic Forest would be a decent draw here. Cinderglade's a good draw. Any land except for Valakut would be a good draw here. Anger of the Gods would actually be a decent draw also. A lot of live draws. Except for that one. Okay. Still a land. So we're about to take 5, go down to 7. The fetch will put us at 6. Just noticed that our opponent's name is Sir Vamp 95, running a vampire deck. Probably should have cued in on that earlier. Yep. I think Acid Moss is definitely the right pick there. Only because I have double prime. Unless I have another Thoughtseize and take the second one away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this will be close. Taking 5 here. Fetching a Cinderglade will put me down to 1. Perfect. Well, not exactly perfect. Basic Mountain probably would have been better there. Nothing like a turn 8 prime time, right? 2/4, so yeah, I'm gonna grab 2 mountains and kill the 2 conquistadors. And as long as our opponent doesn't have a Collective Brutality or Gut Shot, I think we win here. Okay. Alright, nothing like a turn 8 prime time. I'm definitely going to bring in Anger of the Gods and other ways to win here. Actually, I don't even think I need Tracker. I think Baloth and Thragtusk just to gain a little bit of life. And run that. I've said in a couple other videos with this deck, what I like about it is the ability for the sideboard to keep in numbers of Farseek, because you're keeping in this Wish package, and just keeping in Farseek allows you to, yeah, let's keep this, allows you to keep with your primary game plan, where normally in a situation like this I'd be siding out Farseek for additional removal spells, but because I have access to Karn, which just gives me all of these amazing cards in a lot of different matchups, I can just kind of run away with keeping in my Farseeks, which keeps progressing my linear game plan. Okay. I will fetch Shock if I have to. It's a big difference between this and Karnless Titan-Shift, I think. It's just having access to all these potential outs in a lot of different situations, game 1 and on. Okay. I don't really see a point of discarding Bloodghast at this particular moment. And they could have just done that on their turn. Sure. If they take Bolt, I get to double ramp next turn, which is pretty sweet. Okay. I don't think Vampires is quite there in terms of being competitive at the moment. I just don't think it's quite good enough. Okay, come on, draw land. No. I actually think the lifelink's probably a little bit better here, especially with their Bloodghast army. Okay, so next turn I get to play Baloth, or I get to Bolt Baloth. Or hopefully draw more lands. It's really what I want to do is just draw a couple lands over the next few turns. How nice of my opponent to let me cast Engineered Explosives on 3. Okay, I'll fall down to 13. The thing about vampires is you really can't run you can't run like Field of Ruin in this deck because there's so many mana requirements, and most monocolored decks have the ability of running Field of Ruin. So I can Karn right here and grab like EE, Wormcoil if I had more mana. Ballista seems okay, but not great. I think Baloth is just a better play at the moment. As long as I don't top deck a vampire, I'm not going to get punished for this line. Okay. Because Bolt takes Captivating Vampire away. If they drop another vampire, they can start taking my creatures. They should not attack here. And that should seal the game up. Okay. So, tiny little deck tech, I made a few changes. Main board's still the same. I love the removal package of 2 Angers and 4 Bolts. I just think Bolt is pretty good right now, especially in a lot of situations where other people are playing Karn, because after the -2 Karn, he'll be at 3, and Bolt just cleanly takes care of him. The real changes I made is to the Wishboard package, which I want to talk about a little bit. This is primarily the options, these 9 with a second Damping Sphere. Pithing Needle just takes over certain games. It's really, really good against Tron, Liliana, and I even named it against Celestial Colonnade just to protect Karn, which is really strong. Relic of Progenitus is my graveyard hit of choice, primarily because on turn 3, we do have the capacity of sometimes having 5 mana, which means we can play that and start eating people's graveyards as early as turn 3. Also, it exiles itself, which Karn can then grab it back. So sometimes you just need to draw 1 more card. Relic can do that for you repeatedly. Ensnaring Bridge is very good in this deck. Sometimes it gives you an out to buy you a little bit more time, and we don't really care about attacking with creatures in Titan-Shift. The only creature we care really about attacking with is Primetime, and if we drop Primetime, we're probably winning the game just by playing lands for the rest of the game anyway. Damping Sphere is really good right now, and this is the only big mana deck that can really run it. So what it really hits Amulet, Tron, and it hits a lot of our bad matchups like Storm, and even does some damage to ad nauseam. Wormcoil Engine is a 5th Primetime, gains us a ton of life, and is also a threat we can drop under Blood Moon. And if they happen to exile it with the Path to Exile, we can just pick it back up. A neat little interaction is any of our dead, one reason why I like Relic of Progenitus is any of our dead artifacts Like if Ballista dies or Wormcoil dies or anything dies and we have a Lattice in play, we can grab it back after we Relic, exile it from our own graveyard, and then you can use Karn to grab it back, which I think is pretty sweet. Lattice obviously is the lock with Karn. Ballista, when we get to 6 mana, sometimes you just need a 3/3 Ballista to protect you from a Devoted Druid Company deck, or an Inkmoth Nexus. There's a lot of different spots where that is the best potential thing you can drop. Chalice of the Void hits a lot of bad matchups. Chalice on 2 kind of shuts down Storm. Chalice on 1 shuts down Phoenix, and if you get it out early enough, you can do a lot of damage too. We can even drop a Chalice on 0 to stop a lot of different strange things, including packs out of Amulet Titan. And packs are how they're probably going to try to beat us, between pacting for their own Titan and Pact of Negation to stop us from casting Scapeshift. Putting a Chalice on 0 just stops them from being able to do that. Engineered Explosives can only get up to X equals 2, but I think that's really the... X equals 0 can hit a lot of different things, such as Chalice of the Void. X equals 1 clears a lot of different threats in the format, and X equals 2 hits things like Tarmogoyf and Meddling Mage, and is really the secret number we're trying to get to anyway. This is not a great Engineered Explosives deck, but this is a deck that can definitely utilize it. The reason I'm running 2 copies of Damping Sphere is because, like I said, I just think it's really good right now, and being able to have 5 effective copies of it post-board is really relevant in the current meta. And then I have the rest of my threat suite, 3 additional threats, another removal spell, and a answer to pretty much anything. So that's the deck. We get to take down some vampires. I'll see you in the next one.